On Wake Up Washington, we have a segment where we answer your why questions. They're the questions that we all kind of are wondering, but we never seem to get answers to. Well, today, Evan Kozlov, our why guy, is answering a viewer question about Washington, D.C.'s name.
Well, let's talk about the name of this beautiful city, the District of Columbia. But what's the deal with that second part? I mean, what does Columbia have to do with the United States? Well, we're not the only ones with this question.
Hi, my name is George.
Yeah, that's George. He's one of our viewers. Basically, he says he's lived here for 73 years, just north of the city, and has always wondered this question: why is it the District of Columbia? Well, the simple answer here is it's named after Christopher Columbus, but that's just scratching the surface. There's actually a lot more to the story. So let's bring it all the way back to 1697, into the mind of this guy, Justice Samuel Sewall from Massachusetts. He wrote this poem where he described the colonies as Columbina. If it wasn't for that one guy and that one poem, this might not have been the District of Columbia. But he wrote it, and 41 years later, it was still being used. Columbia popped up in a magazine called The Gentleman's Magazine. And before you ask, no, this was not like Playboy. It actually recapped debate in British Parliament. Soon enough, Americans started to embrace the name. There was just this poetic feel to it, and the name Columbia was meant to just embody all the good things about America. Eventually, the name would turn into this image. Throughout American history, you'll find drawings of the goddess Columbia. To steal a great description from Atlantic Magazine, she was like Uncle Sam's older, classier sister. Modern day, you might recognize her as this woman, the logo for Columbia Pictures. So it makes sense that when this commission was born to create the federal city, they landed on the same iconic name, and on September 8th, 1791, they decided that this would be the city of Washington in the territory of Columbia. So that's the answer. Turns out our city is named after a fierce warrior goddess formed in the minds of poets hundreds of years ago. Pretty cool. Okay, so we are live out here at DuPont Circle, and these days you could still see Columbia all over our culture. There's Columbia University, named after Columbia, of course. There's the Columbia Space Station. Even what you're watching right now, CBS, used to be known as the Columbia Broadcast System. So there you go. You can see Columbia all over the place. Look, I want to answer your questions if you have any. You can contact me on Twitter at eKozlov, on Facebook, Evan Kozlov Reporting, or you can email me at eKozlov@WSA9.com. All right, there you go. There's the why for the day. Back to you guys in the studio.
Evan, you know, you're getting a lot of love here in the studio. Everybody's like, wow, gee, didn't know. Cool stuff, Evan. Fierce warrior goddess.
That's the point. I want to tell you something that you don't already know about. I don't want it to be obvious.
Yeah, kind of cool. Fierce warrior goddess says a lot about the city. Evan, thank you. We appreciate it, buddy.